How to Fall in Love with Yourself Toolkit is sponsored by the Creative Ways Podcast. Host and long-term designer Emma Isaac's podcast features inspiring conversations with successful photographers, musicians, fashion designers, and more, who generously share tactical advice to motivate and educate creatives to stay on the path. Find it where you listen to your podcasts, and be sure to visit her website for a fun freebie at emmaisaacs.co.uk. And that link is in the show notes. Hey there, it's Kim, and welcome back to the How to Fall in Love with Yourself Toolkit for the month of August 2020. Can you believe it's August already? I mean, really. And I just want to say kudos to everybody who's listening and has made it through to August of this year, because what a crazy freaking year, right? I mean, wow, it's one for the record books for sure. And I just hope everybody's doing okay. So I wanted to bring you up to speed on a few things that I've been doing to keep myself feeling okay. And of course, one of those things is coloring. And, you know, I love coloring. Obviously, I have 25 books or something on Amazon. And one of the places I color is in my Organized Chaos book, which is my organizer that I use every day. Plus, I really like Christina McAllister's books. She's got fairies and nature spirits and some really cool stuff. So if you like to color, check out Christina McAllister's stuff. Her stuff is cool. I've also been doing quite a bit of reading and checking out books from the library on my iPad, reading on the library app or whatever. So I've read Untamed by Glennon Doyle, which I highly recommend for every woman and men too, because she really nails what it means to be a woman and what it means to become untamed. And, a lot of what she talks about in there is what I talk about here in the podcast, that we need to align with ourselves and speak our own truths, for sure. The other book I just finished is The Hate You Give, which was excellent, and that's by Angie, and I guess it's also a movie. I read that one because I was interested in reading something more from an African-American perspective on race, and it's not a nonfiction book, it's a fiction book, and it really is excellent. And it's just a good story, but I would suggest that if you're interested in understanding racial inequality and the stuff that's been going on in the country, this is a good book to start with, because it's fiction, like I said, and it's a good story. And then just for fun, I've read a couple of murder mysteries by William Kent Krueger, who I am a huge fan of. I recommend him highly if you love a good mystery. Plus, he's from Minnesota, which is my home state, and reading his books makes me feel like I'm visiting some of my favorite places in the world, which is just awesome. And of course, I've been watching a little TV here and there. So the things I've been watching lately are, I've been watching the series In the Dark. I started it on Netflix. Now it's on the CW, the second season. That's really good. And we're watching one called Home Before Dark. That's on Apple TV. A true story of a 9-year-old girl who is a journalist and solves a murder. And then I watched a couple of my all-time favorite movies, which are Cinema Paradiso. And if you haven't seen that, oh my God, such a good movie. Such a good movie. And the other movie I watched that's also one of my favorites is Fly Away Home. And for laughs, I just finished Community on Netflix, and that was also excellent. I completely loved it, loved all the characters, and was kind of sad for a couple days when it ended because I felt like I lost some friends. I don't know if that happens to you when you read a good book or watch something really good, where you binge watch something, and when you finish, you're like, oh, I miss those people. But that definitely happens to me. The other thing I've been doing is really trying to just be mindful of my health. I'm trying to eat really well. And the other things that I do to keep myself healthy are I practice the Wim Hof breathing method. I've talked about this before on this podcast. And I do that every morning and a lot of times before I go to bed at night. So I'm doing anywhere between 3 to 6 rounds of that a day. And I highly recommend you check that out if you're interested in improving your health, for one thing. I mean, he has a method of breathing that has actually been scientifically proven to help you be able to control your own autoimmune system, which is huge. So there's also an app. Look for the Wim Hof app in the App Store, and it's free, and you can get going on that. And if you have questions, you can definitely reach out to me, and I do sessions with people on breathing and how to get going really on that one with doing the correct rhythm and making it comfortable for you and stuff like that. So we could do a quick Zoom session. And then the other thing I've been doing is I'm using my phone to do high impact intensity training, which is awesome. And I use an app that it's called HIIT, but it's part of another set of apps that is my yoga app, which is DownDog. These are both free apps. You can pay for upgrades, but they are free, and I've been using them for years, and they're excellent. So HIIT for high impact intensity training workouts. And then the DownDog yoga app is super good. And then, of course, I've just been going for walks in the neighborhood. I love that too, and taking pictures of flowers because that's something else I love to do. And when I'm not doing all that other stuff, I'm keeping myself really busy because I'm working on putting together the upcoming Align with Intuition challenge for you. That free challenge is going to start on Monday, August 31st and end on Friday, September 4th. And you can register right now to get in on the action. Just go to thecoloringbookcoach.com. Go do that right now. I've got a really fun week planned for us. So let's get into the month of July. No, it's August already. Oh, I can't believe it. August. So here we go. August 2020. The monthly theme is good enough is not good enough. It's time to stop settling for less than we deserve or desire. And that comes from me. And I'm not sure, but I might have gotten this idea from when I was reading the Untamed book, because she talks a lot in there about how we, especially women, are really so programmed, We're really so programmed to settle for things, settle for less than we deserve and less than we desire. And you know what? No more, people. No more. The time has come. Good enough is not good enough. It's time to stop settling for less than we deserve or desire. And that's it for the whole month. I want you to really have this top of mind as you go through the month and look at when you are settling, when you are giving up on something. So the tool basically is just to pay attention. Pay attention this month about the times that you cave and about the times that you say, okay, fine, I don't care if I get that, or, whatever the situation may be. And then it might not even be like you're interacting with another person. It might just be something in yourself. Like you've got a dream within yourself that you want to happen, but there's a piece of you that just doesn't think you deserve it. Sometimes we don't even think we deserve the desire to deserve it. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we don't even let ourselves feel like it's okay to want it. And that's ridiculous. So I want you to focus on your desires and focus on what you deserve this month and give it to yourself if you possibly can. And that's probably going to mean taking some action that could be uncomfortable on your part, but I know you can do it. So keep track of it. Keep a journal. Write it down. Write down what you're going towards. Set some intentions. Let's see some change happen, because you know what? Good enough is not good enough, and we deserve more. So let's give it to ourselves if we possibly can. And I know that we can. We can all take steps towards our desires this month. So moving into week 1, which starts Monday, August 3rd and runs through Sunday, August 9th, the theme is integrity is the harmony between intention, words, and action. And that comes from Alana Fairchild. I love this quote, and it's really awesome because it follows up completely on the theme for the month. Because if we're in integrity, we will have harmony between intention, words, and action. So the tool for this week is create harmony for yourself through your intention, your words, and more importantly, your action. I can easily set an intention for something that I might not do. I might say out loud to other people, I'm going to do X, Y, Z, and I might not do it. The thing that makes the difference between all of this, I can set intentions, I can say words. If I don't take action, what's the point? This week, the tool is to find the harmony between intention, words, and action, because that is truly integrity. So be integrous with yourself. Follow through on what your intentions are and your words are with action. Take one action this week of something you have said you're going to do and have not done yet. Please do that for yourself. That is the tool. And of course, let me know how that works out for you. I love hearing from you guys. You can always DM me on Instagram or on Facebook, and I promise I'll respond. Week 2 starts Monday, August 10th and ends on Sunday, August 16th. And the quote is, "Stop being afraid of offending people. Be you. If they're offended, maybe they're not for you." And that quote comes from me, because you know what? If you have to be somebody else to get someone to like you, what the hell? That doesn't even make any sense. You have to be yourself, because when you're yourself, you will attract the right people because they see you and you'll pull them in. If you're being afraid that you're going to offend somebody, then that person probably isn't for you. We all do this. We all get into situations where we have to do this, whether it's maybe with someone we work with, it could even be with a spouse or a partner. But if you're having to shrink or be less than who you are in any situation, I want you to really question that. This week's tool is I want you to do a little bit of journaling. I want you to write down about who you're afraid to offend and how you can change that and find some bravery to be yourself. Find 3 reasons why it's better to offend the person, and find 3 reasons why it's better for you to offend the person. You can do this. I've said this many times before. If you're not being yourself, you're robbing us of you. People want to know you, and we need people to be true to themselves. There is nothing more sexy than someone who has the vulnerability and courage to just be themselves. So please journal about this and see what you find out, because this is important stuff. Okay, as we move into week 3, it starts on Monday, August 17th and ends on Sunday, the 23rd. And I love this one. Every issue in your life is a direct result of a belief which says, this should be different. And that comes from me. And I figured that out one day, and it's true. It's true. Everything in our life that we think is an issue is because we're believing that it should be different than it is. Can you see that? If you can't see that, maybe you want to do a session of the work of Byron Katie with me. If you are thinking it should be different than it is, that is such a painful place to be in. And doing the work of Byron Katie can really get you clear on that. The tool for this week is I want you to look at what's causing you pain, what belief is causing you pain, and what you think should be different, and sit with that. Just sit with it for a little bit and think, should it really be different? What I like to remind people that I work with is you're not driving the bus. And you're not in charge. Unless you got a memo from the universe that says, hey, you are now in charge and you are responsible, you're not in charge. You're not even in control. I mean, control is an illusion. If you think we have control, really? I mean, look what's going on in the world. The COVID, the riots, the protesting, all that stuff. We don't have control. Things just happen, basically. So what I like to say is, you're not driving the bus. You're never going to have to drive the bus. You have not been tapped to drive the bus. You're on the bus, so you might as well just enjoy the ride. And what I mean by that is, let's say you really literally are on a bus and you're thinking, oh, the bus is going the wrong way, blah, blah, blah. You've got all these stories about what's happening on the bus, but you're not the driver and you can't do anything about it. So you got to just let it go. Just let go and chill out. And I know this is, top level on something that could be really deep. But like I said, again, if you can't let go of something that you really think should be different, And I know how painful that can be. I get these things stuck in my head too, and then I have to remind myself of what I know. But if it's really hard and you can't let go of it, reach out to me and let's do the work of Byron Katie, because I just use 4 simple questions and a turnaround. And if you do it correctly, it's amazing. Yeah, just take a look at that. Take a look at that this should be different. Every issue in your life is a direct result of the belief which says this should be different. Think about that. Just think about it this week. That's just your tool. Just think about, is it really true that it should be different? Because it's just playing out how it is. Again, this is very high level kind of way to look at this, but it's actually the 100% truth. So moving into week 4, starts August 24th, which is a Monday, and ends on Sunday the 30th. And the theme is to forgive is to set a prisoner free and discover the prisoner was you. And that comes from Louis Samates. I've been thinking a lot about forgiveness lately because I've had some things happen in my life that were really, really hard and really surprising. And surprising that people I loved and cared about could act like that and could do that. And I just realized the other day, it's not helping me to hold on to that story. It really isn't. Like I just said about the previous week, if I think that it should be any different than it was, I'm the crazy person. It went down how it did. Things went down how they did. And it is what it is. So what I really got to really big is that I need to forgive. I need to forgive myself for believing them. And I need to forgive them for what they did. And really, at the end of the day, they're not even going to know if I forgave them because I'm not going to tell them. But I definitely am going to forgive me. And I know that. And I can feel the difference. Ever since I made this decision to forgive them and myself, I have felt different. Like I said, they did their part of what hurt me exactly how they were supposed to do it. And it worked. I got hurt and upset, and I've carried a lot of anger and stuff around with me, which isn't healthy. And once I realized that, it's just better to forgive because I'm freeing myself. So I want you this week, we all probably have something that we just think we can't get past. I want you to look at that and realize that the person was acting exactly how they should have acted, and that you can forgive them without ever talking to them or seeing them again or even letting them know. So your tool for this week is, I want you to write a letter to the person or situation that you can't seem to forgive. And get angry if you need to, but also focus on why you can forgive that person. And then when you get done doing that, write the same kind of letter to yourself, because we all are doing our best. This is what I believe. We're all doing our best. I was doing my best when I got into the situation with those people, and I'm still doing my best. They're doing their best to get people into that situation, I guess. And, it's nobody's fault. So let's just forgive and then forgive ourselves. It's huge. This is really huge work. That's a big thing to do this week, but I know you can do it. And if you get hung up, reach out, visit thecoloringbookcoach.com. I have several things there to help you deal with, life situations. Big thanks to our sponsor, the Creative Ways Podcast. If you're creative or you want to be, don't miss Emma's wonderful podcast. You can find it on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And I hope you listened to July's bonus podcast where I did a healing for Emma. It aired on July 20th. And don't forget to sign up now for the free Align with Your Intuition Challenge, which starts August 31st. It's going to be 5 days of fun and inspiration. Hey, have you visited my new bookshop? You can find it at bookshop.org/The Coloring Book Coach. You'll find the books I've recommended here today, plus more, including some of my coloring books. This is a great way to support the show, and more importantly, this site supports independent bookshops. And while I love Amazon as much as the next person, I really like the idea of helping indie bookshops stay in business. If you do too, please consider shopping at bookshop.org/The Coloring Book Coach. Also, you can support the show at buymeacoffee.com/The Coloring Book Coach. I appreciate every virtual coffee that I receive, and it really does help me to keep the show going. Big thanks to Silent Partner for our music today. The track we used is called Believer, and we found them on YouTube's Creator Library, and you can find the links in our show notes. Until next time, this is Kim A. Floden wishing you a wonderful month ahead.